Uppy, uppy, uppy. It's One Funny Morning. I'm Dana Blizzard, and it's too early in the morning. This is the dumbest show in the whole world.
From Monday
to Friday. Sometimes on Saturdays.
Why would you say that in front of all these people?
Dean stinks.
You never know what's gonna happen.
That's your Dateline voice?
I don't know.
It wasn't good.
It wasn't.
It's not a chicken leg. This is a chicken leg.
Look at that manhole cover on my face.
Not a bad rendition of me. Hold on.
It's such a small town. So if you're walking, people just be like, "Do you want to ride?" It's like they don't need Uber. They just have.
What?
They just pull over. They give you a honk, and they're like, "We know your brother. We'll give you a ride to school or whatever."
That's called
our small
murder
town.
in New Jersey.
What's outside your Puerto Rican?
That's Stella! Yeah!
Hi, we're down the shore. I'm Lady Di. I'm Cousin Kathy.
I'm Cousin Linda.
And we're waiting for our honeys to come through this honey door. Yeah, guys, come on down. We're ready for you guys.
Ready.
We all want to welcome you to Uppy 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 with our host,
Dina Blizzard.
Why would she send that video? LaFive, why would my mother send that to my morning show? Send it to somebody else's morning show. Why don't you send it to anybody that has a morning show? Kelly, one of them? I don't know. Yeah, the honey door. All with their honey shirts on. Those are all my aunts. Good morning, TikTok. You didn't see it, but it was funny. I'm sorry I sent it, Cookie Spice. Oh, were you shooting at Cookie Spice? Oh my gosh. Yep. Thank you, Missy. I was like, oh, maybe there's going to be honey that comes through the door. And then I was like, oh no, she hooking is what she looks like she's doing outside the door. Good morning from soggy Saskatoon. Yes. Good morning. Good morning. How is everybody? Apparently, those honey door shirts are perfect for the summer. So ladies, make sure you get up early, put your One Funny Honey shirt on, and stand by your back door and see if men show up. I guess that's what they're doing. I don't really know. Good morning, Charlotte. I know. Give them the award now. It's pretty good. If they had like coordinated dance movements, maybe it would have been, yeah. Today is convocation day for my daughter. Officially a teacher. Oh, is that a Medicare card you got tattooed on your arm? Linda, you hilarious. You hilarious. Now, these are my pride tattoos. I went to my first pride parade in Philadelphia with my family this weekend. Look how jacked my arm is. Stand by your door and see if men show up. I mean, would be hilarious if a line of men was waiting to go in. I know. Let's see if they send another video with men just lined up at the door and then her just going, oh, they showed up, it worked. Exactly. You're right, Shakendra. Yeah. So last night, I don't even want to say it, Shakendra, because it upsets me. Last night, we're doing the Ugly Monday giveaway. And Diana's over here going, we're just waiting for men to come to my back door. And I was like, stop. No, don't say that. Don't ever, not just to me, but to anyone. You should have had Jim walk up. That would have been hilarious. I know. So anyway, they had a good time, Mary, making their videos. So listen, send in your video of you standing by your honey door. Oh my gosh, what is up with all these people on the TikTok? Yeah. So anyway. So hopefully everybody had a nice Monday and it wasn't too ugly. We had Ugly Monday last night in our giveaway. This is right here. Que pasa on the, what is happening on the TikTok? It's possible. Saying we've gotten so much rain the last week in southern Wisconsin. We had flood concerns every which way. Really? There's a lot happening in the universe. I have no complaints. Everything's been pretty calm here weather-wise, but anyway. So it is Tuesday, everybody. And as I said, this is a crazy week. because we have Finance Michelle on today. Tomorrow we have Christina Kuzmik on. Thursday, and I believe tomorrow is our official anniversary, our 4-year anniversary of doing this morning show. So that's kooky. And then on Thursday is our all Spanish version of the show. I don't think it's going to go well. I have a feeling we're going to be talking mostly about cows. And if you would like a boleta, that's a ticket to go to the biblioteca, which doesn't even make sense. So it's going to be a weird show. So stay tuned for Thursday. Yes, best morning show ever. I don't know how we haven't won an award yet. If somebody could find an award we could apply for, that would be great. Because I feel like after 4 years, I think it's said that we've done 650 shows, but that doesn't make sense. It should be more than that. I'll have to look it up. I thought you started on the 3rd of June. Nobody knows, Bridget. It's like this week. That's all right, Lisa. You can be quiet. We love having you. Vino Tinto. Okay, Kezzy, that's probably a good idea. And my bufanda, obviously. So let's get right to it. Today, we're super excited because we have Finance Michelle joining us. So let's give her a warm round of applause for Finance Michelle. Come on over, Michelle.
Here I come.
Okay, so we have some fun things planned. Our first week, we talked about the sandwich generation scoot this way more. I'm like too big. The sandwich generation and taking care of older people and younger people. Last week, we talked a little bit more specifically about the big D, divorce. And today we're focusing on what, Michelle?
We are focusing on the big expense, children in college. But do you know what happened after last week?
No, what?
I didn't know how famous you were.
Why?
Because we'll start the game off immediately.
Okay.
Name the number one person that Michelle said is her type. Do you remember?
The number one
Or
person.
the type of man. Remember I said, do you remember?
Big hunky fella?
No, he's not hunky.
I don't know.
It was Eminem. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And guess what happened right after your show?
You met Eminem.
No, he dropped a new song to get my attention. And I was like, yes, Heather, thank you. And he dropped a new
Heather,
song.
you would have won a prize if this was a real show.
And I was like, okay, Dina, matchmaker. And because I need someone to pay for my kids' college, hey, Slim Shady.
Oh, hashtag Eminem.
Yes, hashtag Dina, your reach is far.
That's what it is.
Yes.
He knew. He was
He
probably
did.
watching.
He did. And today I was like, oh, my brows are not having a good day. I hope he's not watching.
Yeah. Make sure you look good in case Eminem happens to be watching that day. I know. She's like, oh, stop. I thought you met someone. Oh, she did. His name is Eminem.
Right. No, I don't have time to meet anyone. I'm taking care of these kids.
You don't have like a
Man-panion?
or like you go out with your girlfriend. Like that.
I do, but when you go out with your girlfriend, don't you just want to be out with your girlfriend?
That's true.
I'm about to go down with Lady Di and the ladies.
Hang out by the honey door.
Right. See who's coming in and coming out.
I did fill Michelle in on our new colloquialism of get you to the end of the street. So she is updated.
I was today years old when I learned that, and I am so excited.
Yeah.
To repeat that.
To tell everyone you know.
Tell everyone I know. About.
All my girlfriends are married and busy, said Tanya. You would love to hang out with Tanya.
Oh,
she's a good one.
Is she near?
No.
Oh.
But if she was, you would have a good time. You're going to have to go on one of our trips sometime.
I want to.
We're booked up for Nashville.
Wait, did I already miss the Phillies?
No, it's coming up. Well, you should have bought your tickets. But if you talk to Wendy.
And I could go and
you might know somebody. Yeah.
I could wander.
Well, you can probably just call Wendy.
I want to go to that because the J-Lo concert was canceled. So my big summer event is off the table.
How do you feel about J-Lo?
Well,
I feel like she going.
I don't like to talk bad about any women.
No,
other women, except when I'm with my girlfriends. Just
yeah.
kidding. No, I You know what? It was more like I was looking forward to the experience. I like a performer, and I feel like she's a performer.
She's a performer.
So that's what I was
for
looking forward
sure.
to.
But the whole Ben Affleck, that should not have happened. If I was her friend, I would have told her.
Wait, are they really broken up?
The writing's on the wall, Michelle.
I don't think so. I don't want to believe that. I want to believe in love stories.
Yeah, but I don't think that was one. That was a rebound. She had just left. What's his name?
Girl always has a rebound. I have no one.
Yeah, but it doesn't end well.
That's true.
She spent how many millions of dollars on that wedding?
Okay, well.
Michelle's like, I like a wedding.
I like a wedding.
Does he get her to the end of the street?
Oh, that's probably the problem. Duh. Couldn't 20 years ago and can't now. We should have seen that coming. Right?
It was. It's the same story.
She needs to
same
date.
story as the lady at the
She needs
CVS.
to date younger. That's her problem.
Mm-hmm.
And she can.
Mm-hmm.
So remember she married that guy that was much younger than her?
Well, yeah, she married a lot of guys. This is her fourth. Is this her fourth?
She's not a quitter.
Not a quitter. She's a go-getter. She's like, I'm going to get this right.
That's pretty funny.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Yeah.
and then she had children, which is what our topic is today.
All right, so let's get to it.
Okay, so in order to make it fun and interactive, Tara and I thought we would do it Family Feud style.
Okay.
But like Steve Harvey funny Family Feud
Okay.
style.
All right, so
Okay.
you're the host of this?
Yeah.
Okay.
We have a prop. Ready? Can you get the buzzer?
Oh, yeah.
So,
That?
Yeah, so you'll hit the buzzer when you think you or the audience have an answer.
All right, I'm going to hit it, and then we're going to give them some time.
Okay.
I'll let you. They might get it before I do, but go ahead. So this is all conversations about the expenses, and all of those, as we know, come from children.
Correct.
So, so let's see what our knowledge is like, and then we can see what kind of questions we want to ask.
Okay.
Okay.
So we'll start with, so let's talk about first college savings.
Like a 529?
Yes.
Okay.
So did you have 529s for all of your children?
We did, but it paid for one half of maybe one book in one semester at college.
When you open them up, were you like, I'm just going to put in, did you have a discipline strategy or you just put in whenever?
You said strategy. I don't know. Jim did all of it. So I had no input, and I probably should have. You asked me what I should have done? What's the question?
The question is,
Let me see if I know it.
do you wish you would have saved more money for college?
Yeah, I wish they all were internet stars, can pay for their own college and then buy me a house and a car.
But
Michelle,
it wasn't
what
really.
kind of questions are
I
these?
know.
Wait, so are you supposed to start a 529 when they're born?
Yes. And here's why. First of all, let's go. Ready?
Okay, let's
Name
go.
the average cost for a middle class family to raise a child to age 17 before college.
All right, I'm gonna give them a chance to answer.
Family Feud goes like, we need to.
I know, Michelle. Do you understand how this internet works? There's no people.
Okay.
Michelle said 300,000. Somebody said 200,000. $1 million. I'll be dead.
That's
1 million, 100,000, 100,000. Colleen, come on. You spend that at McDonald's.
Depends on the size of your
400,000
Sephora haul.
GI Bill. We had to pay, and then she
Oh.
dropped out. $4 million, $1 million.
You need to have money for a 529.
Yeah, it's got to be about 700. All right, so everybody's in the couple hundred thousands. Let me
so-
think. I'm going to say my number. I'm going to say 350,000.
Okay. So there's varying answers, but it's somewhere between 233,000 to 300, depending on where you are, what part of the country you are. That's just to age 17, right?
And that's not college.
That's not
That's
college.
just, I'm keeping you alive.
That's just the bare necessities.
I'm going to keep you alive.
Right.
I'm going to
Yes.
give you insurance. You're going to get a bike.
I'm gonna water you and feed you and
Mhm.
give you your
Mhm.
socks and on time and just get you to where you need to be.
Mm.
Like, do you ever keep track in a budget of how much you spend on your children or yourself? But let's say your kids. Do you have a budget?
Yeah, I have a budget, but my kids are all older now, and I don't let them upstairs. They live in the basement. But are you asking me to like go back? I had a budget for presents for like parties, because there was that time where they were going to a party every other week. So I had a budget for that. I had a budget for Christmas. I had my envelopes. I'm a fan of the Chinese
the
envelope system.
Yeah.
So I was the envelope lady.
Cash.
Cash.
So you don't know how much each of them owes you.
Oh, they all owe me $1 million. Yeah. And braces alone.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And also, like, I have a list and I tell my kids, like, first of all, I had to get a bigger car when you were born. So that's
on
upcharge
you.
like guac.
Yeah, that's you. That's on you.
And this is how much when you are gainfully employed that you owe me. Because I kept you alive.
I know.
I got you to that finish line.
I know.
And if not, you have to take care of me when
you know what I think all of us should do when our kids are around is, like, you know, when you hear like influencers or like rock stars, they're like, I bought my mom a house. Or we have to talk about that. We have to make that normal.
Yes. Let's normalize buying your mom a house.
Paying your mom's mortgage off.
Yes. Let's normalize buying your mom another car when she's still driving around in an SUV she doesn't need anymore because your legs got too big and now you and your 27 friends can't fit in there.
What was really funny is that I always had like mom cars, and I said like big minivan, like not even a minivan, like a cargo van. Like that was who I was.
Like an Amazon delivery van?
Almost like an Amazon. It was
like
a
Uncle
big,
Creepy?
it was, yeah,
Did
super creepy. It was a white van, and it didn't even have like those cute little like TVs on the back of the headrest. It was a full television in between the passenger and the driver's side, full television. You had a VHS player. You can play VHS tape for VeggieTales. Anyway, like I just recently bought a car, and you don't know. Now, my kids are 24, 22, and 19. But even when I was buying my car, like I'm looking at the car and I'm like, I don't think it's big enough. And people are like, it's just you. And I go, no. What if like Dean and they're going in and out of college, or then this and that? And they're like, that might happen one day, 2 days a year.
Yeah, that's true. You could rent a car.
And so it was really weird to like not be considering my children in a decision about what I'm driving or where I'm living.
And a financial decision.
It's weird.
It is weird.
Because up until that point, all of the decisions are always kids.
Correct.
Yeah.
It's centered around them.
Mm-hmm.
So to answer your question then, yes, I think starting a 529 plan in utero is probably smart.
Now, Laurie just brought up a good point. You realize you're saying we all need to pay our parents back too. Okay, Diana just got a free week at the shore.
That's true.
And that's basically
a value.
That is a value.
We were reviewing that value before the show.
And this is like the third or fourth year she's done it. And it's $1 million to rent it every year. So she actually owes me money. Just wanted to put that out there. Go ahead.
It's also like it's on layaway. You're making payments over time.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's more expensive to raise kids now than it was when we were younger. Everything is more expensive.
Don't you think? Well, it's relative, right?
It is, but
because everybody's getting paid more, is it?
Well, but we kind of touched on this before. But these kids also have a different life experience than many of us had. I was not going to Target and just buying whatever
doing a haul.
There was no haul from Caldor.
Yeah.
There was no James Way haul in my life. Sorry.
Yeah.
This didn't exist.
Yeah. And I think that college is ridiculous. College expense.
It is. Speaking of, okay, we'll go to our next question.
Here we go.
Name the 5 most expensive college tuitions in the United States. The schools with the 5 most expensive.
Oh, well, they gotta all be Ivy Leagues then. All right, let's try it. Most expensive. I'm gonna throw out Princeton. That's New Jersey. Harvard, Yale. Yeah. BN said Brown. Harvard, MIT, Yale, University of Pennsylvania, Vanderbilt. Oh. Does that mean we got one?
Well, I was trying to break your hand to match
Okay, go ahead. So did we get any?
Okay, number 1, University of Chicago, coming in hot at $84,000 a year.
University of Chicago?
What, the Windy City? It's not cheap. Have you seen the architecture there?
I don't know. I didn't expect you to say that. Okay, go ahead. Notre Dame is Columbia, Stanford. But let's see what you say.
Northwestern University at $83,838.
Okay.
University of Penn, 80, really close to Northwestern. Columbia.
Somebody said Columbia.
Brown, 82.
Brown, somebody said Brown.
Wesleyan University, 82. I know.
What?
Harvey
Per
Mudd
year.
College.
Okay.
Never heard of it?
Okay. Are you reading Harvard wrong?
No. Hooked on Phonics did not work for me. No, it's Harvey.
She's like, Dina, it's pronounced Harvey. What?
Harvey Mudd College.
What are you even saying? I've never
It's $82,000. I don't know where it is. Someone look it up.
Michelle, where did you get this list from? Is this from Wikipedia something?
No,
You
this
just
is
made up a
true.
college name.
Yale, 82,000.
Okay.
Tufts University, 81,000. University of Southern California, 81,000.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Washington University in St. Louis, 81,000. Haverford College, not too far away.
What are you talking
81.
about?
I'm just saying.
That's so crazy.
I know. Listen, this is the problem, right? So how are you supposed to afford this?
Well, you can't. The kids will never go to school.
Right. Or they go to school and then where do they go after school?
Back to your basement.
Yeah. I don't even think you have a basement.
I don't. They live outside.
I feel like this story's falling apart.
She said Harvey Mudd is in California.
Oh.
Never heard of it. Is it just a guy that just started a school?
I don't know. I'm getting.
I hope there's a Dina Blizzard University.
Do they have merch?
Yeah, we at least have
We
merch.
need some Harvey Mudd.
We do.
Harvey Mudd.
Harvey Mudd.
Yeah.
Let me just look it up. What
Go to a
its
trade school. I
special
like
is
that
it?
idea. Oh, here we go.
Harvey Mudd College.
Are you fact checking me?
No, I just want to see what it specializes. I mean, why would this college that no one's ever heard of? Liberal arts and
engineering, science, and math.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why is it so expensive?
Wait, go back up. What does it say? It's the number one highest mid-career salaries. Number 2 best engineering program. 906 graduates. That's a small little. It's a small private school. That's why. Just like private school when they're younger, right?
Wow.
Mm-hmm. That's off the list. If my
Yeah,
children
yeah.
are watching this,
Yeah. Be like, you're not going to Harvey
we're not
Mudd.
applying there. Yep.
Mhm.
Okay. So we see and that's not even some of the names that we brought up, but Ivy Leagues are a lot as well, right?
Yeah.
They're not even on the list. So how do we afford that? Most people can't,
We don't.
right?
No.
So it begins with figuring out how to save, how to budget, and then what's the appropriate time to do that. So I always had this debate when my kids were younger. My mom would bring in like all this, I love you, Mom, but like all the plastic in the world and the Fisher Price toys in my living room that became like Jeffrey the giraffe threw up everywhere.
And you were like, don't buy any more presents.
I was
Put
like,
money
say
in.
it with cash.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Or when your kids were younger and they would have like, let me spend $400 on a birthday party so you can get, $30, $25 gift certificate or gift cards to Target.
Yeah.
So say it with cash. That's what I say to your
So
friends
like,
and your
what would
family.
you say that people should be putting away every year in order to come up with because honestly, we didn't start them till later, but it paid for one half of one semester.
Right.
It wasn't that helpful. So what do you think that people should be putting away? Like if you have, because my mom did that for the kids' birthdays, she would just put $100 into their 529 or whatever for them for the long run. So like, what should we be doing?
So it's all relative to what someone can afford, but there's something called the rule of 72, which says that if something earns 7% for 10 years, it will double, right? So let's say you start when they're zero, and then you put in what do you think is an affordable amount monthly? Depends, right?
100, 50,
50.
25.
No,
Am I going the wrong direction?
what? You're like, I'm going down. No. Okay, let's say it's 100, right?
Okay. That's
How much is that?
$1,200 a year.
Right.
And in 7 years, if I didn't do
10
anything,
years.
in 10 years, it's $2,400. Is that what you're saying?
No, let's say.
Oh, I have to do that for 10 years. So $1,200 for 10 years is $12,000.
Right. And let's say it earns 7% because it's invested in a 529 plan, and the average return, I'm not promising any average returns, but I'm just saying, let's just use that as an example. And then over time, so over that 10 years,
right,
you put in how much?
$12,000.
Okay. How much is it worth if it doubles?
In 10 years from then, by the time they're 20, which is right in the middle of school, they would have $24,000.
Is that enough?
No.
Not for Harvey Mudd.
Not for Harvey Mudd, it's not.
No. So you have to be aggressive in your funding strategy. And I also recognize that not everyone can afford to do that. And that's what we work with people on planning, gifting, whether or not you can build that into your budget. That's the things that we do when we look at on the financial planning side of things. But if you don't start when they're younger, the most common thing we see is that people underfund, right?
Yeah.
And there are people who say, well, what if my child doesn't go to college, right? So name two things that you can do.
Oh, if you don't use it for college.
If you don't use it for college.
Well, somebody mentioned trade school. You can use it for trade school.
Right. You can use it for trade school now.
Is that one of them?
Yes.
Or no? It is. Okay. Oh, gosh.
Name two other things you can do with your 529 plan if your child doesn't use it. If you overfund it and they don't use it for certain things.
And the answer is not cruise.
The answer is not cruise.
Okay.
Well, maybe, but you have to pay taxes on the money if you take it out.
Trade
and you
school.
don't use it for a qualified
Could you buy a house or a car?
No, but you're getting warm.
I can buy something. Like on The Price is Right.
So
I can roll it over.
You can't buy.
Oh, somebody said I stole the answer. I can roll it over to for another number. I can roll my 529 into a 401.
You can roll it into a Roth. Okay, Robin. And yes, you can roll it into a Roth. So if it's been in there, this just was a rule in 2024. If it's been in there for 15 years and the child doesn't use it, you can roll it into a Roth for the child, which then would help with their retirement. Imagine if you had a Roth that someone started for you, right?
Yeah.
So there's that. And then also you can use it for one of your other children. If let's say you overfund.
Oh yeah. Like if I had a lot of money set aside for Dean, but he didn't use it, I could give it to another kid.
Correct.
I can roll it to a different 529.
Well, yes, you can use it for that, the subsequent children. So if you have more than one child, right? So if you're for whatever reason, your child doesn't use it all, you break up with your child before they go to college, whatever you can.
Had they always allowed it to roll to
the Roth?
No, to a trade school?
No. So when your kids were younger, the rules were very defined. It was very limited. And now they're way more relaxed.
Good.
I think
that's great.
to incentivize people, I think to save, and also because when it's too rigid, then it doesn't allow for all of the expenses that a child has. So next question.
Wait, there's two questions up here. It says, I have a Roth. Do I need a will or put it in a trust?
So if it's your own Roth, Leslie, then you don't need, it has a beneficiary on it. So you
just, whoever the beneficiary is, they get it?
Would inherit it. Yes. Yeah. And then also changing ownership to of trust could be, because a trust could be an entity. So it's its own person. So that could make the proceeds taxable. So it just depends. Call me, Leslie. We'll talk.
What is this and how do I start one for a kiddo? So how do you start a 529?
So 529 plan, you can, so it depends on, that's part of what we do, right? We work with people to open 529 plans, college savings plans, and then we help identify whether or not you should be doing one specific to your state, because there are some, like New Jersey's is called New Jersey Best. So there are some specific to your state, which means that there may be some advantages if your child goes to an in-state school.
Oh, I see.
But you can still use it even if they don't.
It says if your kids don't use it, can you roll it to a grandchild?
That's a good question.
I would think that they would have to roll it to their Roth, to their IRA.
Yeah, I think it's rolling to the Roth, but we'll
that'd be
look
interesting.
that up. That would be interesting. Roll into a retirement savings plan.
First, try to raise
to
them
qualify for grants and scholarships.
Oh yes, that would be nice, Constant.
Yeah. So let's say
if that's the case, why not just have one 529 for all your children?
Well, usually, so part of what happens when you open the plan depends on the ages of your children. That's a good question, and you could use that as a strategy. But if they're varying ages, then what it's invested in, what the risk is that you're taking, meaning like what are your projections for, one kid goes to college in 1 year and then the next one doesn't go for 4 years later. Should your investment strategy be as aggressive in those 4 years So technically, the closer you get to using the money, you may have a less aggressive investment strategy because you don't want, the market to fluctuate when you're about to use the money for tuition. And you're like, oh, sorry, market had a bad year. I guess you're staying on the couch with mom, right? Or I'm homeschooling you for college.
So now Effort said, what if you put savings and your kids' money in a regular savings account? Like, what's the benefit to putting it into a 529 versus, because I think most people put it into just a regular savings.
Dina just asked a
Effort
Family Feud question.
Oh,
okay.
All right.
What's the benefit to putting it into a 529 plan?
I would imagine
it's just been a while
that you're going to get a better return. Maybe. And there's got to be some tax incentive.
That's what it is. So
I don't know what that means. I just said it.
Like
I said it, but I don't really know what that means.
You faked it like you
tell me what that means.
So what that means is, let's say you put money into a savings account.
Let's say I had $10,000. I put it in a savings account and I had $10,000 in a 529.
Okay. And let's say, this rule of 72 says in 10 years, if it earns 7%, let's just pretend in a super arousing fantasy world that interest rates were 7%, savings rates were 7%. How much would each be worth? It doubles in 10 years.
They'd both be worth 20.
Correct.
Okay.
What's the gain?
10,000.
Correct. In the 529 plan, as long as it's used for college, you don't pay any taxes on the gain. On the savings account, you get a little 1099 every year that it's earning interest that you have to report on your taxes. Right?
It's the government.
Right.
So you don't pay taxes. So that this money that you've earned, this $10,000, is fully going to go to a child's education.
If you use it for the education, not for the cruise.
That's weird. Can I start one for a grandchild?
Yes, you can. And I encourage that because, again, I know it's, especially when it's your first grandchild, it's very tempting and easy to say, oh, I want to buy this. I want to buy that. Clothes. And I'm not saying don't do those things, right? However, do you think when Dean today remembers what Lady Di bought him when he was 2?
I think he kept a journal. I think Di kept a journal.
Maybe.
Being honest.
She probably did.
Yeah.
Right. Because the other thing is kids don't want these things. Like, I saved all of these Shopkins. You don't know what that is? Oh, you're lucky. That's why you have more money than me.
And you saved it for your kids because you
No, they're my daughter's Shopkins. I bought them for her, and my mom bought them for her, and everybody in the world bought them for her.
Okay.
They were like these collector's things.
Okay.
And I was like running to AC Moore, like,
Yeah.
She was like, Mom, I need the super rare Shopkin. And then she stopped playing with them, and I put them in a little bin. And I was like, hey, I saved your Shopkins. And she was like, why?
I know. Yeah.
And I was like, well, you used to love them. And she's like,
okay.
So, but there's no value there.
No value.
Right? So when I've been better putting that money away for college.
Now, Robin said, I'm not making a will because I want my kids to fight for it like they fought for 40 years. Robin's my kind of gal.
Me too. Can I be your planner so we can bring them in the office and we can use our buzzer? Okay. I'll get a gavel and bang it when they get too rowdy.
So does a parent have to open the 529 or can a kid have more than one 529?
Yes.
What?
Mm-hmm.
So I could have a 529. Shakendra could have a 529 for Dean. My mom could have a 5. You just need the kids
yes,
social.
If anyone here wants to open a 529 plan for Dean,
for any of my kids, yes,
they're accepting 529s. Yes, and that can happen. So grandparents, obviously, compounding. If you have more, contributing to one may be better because your interest can compound. But we have many clients who the grandparents will open one because every year. Because of gifting, right? They'll put money in it, or they want to, be the custodian on it for a variety of reasons. So,
how much do you need to start a 529?
Great question. So, a lot of them can be started, believe it or not, with as little as like $100, maybe a few $100s. But we always tell people if you're going to do that, right? You want to fund it and you want to have a strategy around funding it, because if you don't. Remember, a lot of it is market based, right? So it's going to be invested. And if you see fluctuation, then you become discouraged. So it's like if you contribute to your 401k plan only for a few weeks and then you don't contribute anything else, you're going to be like, well, that never grew. It never did anything. Well, you have to water it for it to grow. So, but we encourage people to start early.
Do you need the Social Security to start the 529?
Yes, you do, because it's the beneficiary of the Social Security and date of birth, because the child is the ultimate beneficiary of the plan.
And what happens if your child passes away?
Great question. So again, it goes back to the rules within what the rules are of 529 in that environment, but it can be gifted to a sibling, and then there are special considerations for situations like that.
Do you have to continue monthly to the 529?
So you don't have to continue monthly. There's actually something called super funding, where you can just upfront fund up to 5 years. So
what?
You can
Is there a limit on how much you can put in, like an IRA?
So contributions up to, there's no limit, but contributions up to $18,000 per donor per beneficiary per year are eligible for the annual gift tax exclusion.
So like when Shakendra puts the $18,000 into Dean's account, and then Tanya puts $18,000 into Dean's
That's okay.
account.
But if Shakendra can't put 19 in, or she would have to file on the gift tax return.
Shakendra, just keep it at the 18.
Yes. And then just wait until January
file.
1st to give the next 18.
And then you can put your next
Correct.
installment. And
Yes.
like, okay,
Yes. Okay. So name 3 qualified education expenses besides tuition that it can be used for.
Housing, books, food. Is that right?
Yes, that is.
I made that up. What else is there? Beer
pong?
A car to get there? I don't know why it wouldn't be used for a car. How are you going to get
Sorority pledging? Just kidding.
So you can't use it for that.
No. Room and board, though. So it depends.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
Right?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So let's see here.
A computer? You would think so, right?
Yeah. Yes, that is true. And again, the rules used to not allow for that. It was strict like tuition, which is why. So let's see here.
Did the gift amount go up? Somebody said they thought it was 15.
The gifts, yes. So gift exclusion amounts go up every year. Well, not every year.
I don't even know what you're saying. What's this gift exclusion?
So you're allowed to gift a certain amount of money to your children, to your grandchildren every year. And then you have a lifetime maximum gifting limit that you can, and that's
so how much can my mom give me every year for free? Let's get Diana on the line. Diana, get your checkbook.
Lady Di.
Because I've been waiting for my annual gift exclusion.
It's going to be a little less than you want. Let's dial her up. Hold on.
Be like, Di, you have your checkbook?
So she can give you $18,000, but
Diana,
there's also,
what's the lifetime amount she could give me?
What do you guys think is the lifetime? Let's go over that.
A lifetime amount. Well, you said
as of 2024, the IRS can allow someone to give away X amount of dollars.
Well, you said it's 18 a year, and I feel like they would probably say like 10 years is good. I'm going to go with 180
over their lifetime. It's assets or property.
Oh, so she can give, like, if the house is worth like 600,000, that would, so then it's got to be a lot higher, right? Just give you, and then you're not, and you're not going to pay taxes on it,
right? Over their lifetime, they're not going to pay taxes.
Am I?
Depends on the gift.
You're running this like a back alley thing.
No, it depends on the gift. So
it depends on the gift.
So like, if you would you pay taxes right away? No, but let's say they gave you stock and it was worth $10,000, but they paid $1,000 for it. There's $9,000 of gain inside of there.
Let's just get rid of this gain because I don't like it. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna go with $1 million. So they said 12,360,000, 1 million, 2,300,000. Which
the million people are warmer.
Yeah, I think what if they give you cash?
The lifetime exemption. Oh, if they give you cash, then
it never happened. All right, what's the number?
13.6 million. Do you want to call Di now or later?
Diane, now's the time.
Stop holding out, Lady
Who's
Di.
giving their kids $13.6 million?
Eminem.
Eminem is.
People are. And people are giving less than that. Remember the 1%ers. But there are people.
Are we just reading the rules for the 1%ers? What are the rules for the poor people? Like, you can give as much money as you want. Don't worry about
Right.
it.
That's what I tell my kids. I'm like, you can't have those sneakers. They're going to make me reach my gift exclusion.
Somebody said, is it too late to create an account for a 6th grader?
No, it's never too late because you still have, first of all, remember, you can also use it for a graduate school as well. And you don't know the trajectory of your kid's life, right? Maybe they get scholarships or someone said here, like raise them to qualify for scholarships or grants. Maybe they use it for graduate school. Maybe they use it for something else. No, we have people that in high school, they're like, oh my gosh, I got to start saving for college. And they start funding it. So it's never too late, especially now because you can use it for a Roth IRA. So that's basically getting your kids started on retirement. Wouldn't you like if someone said, hey, Dina, I started this retirement account for you?
Well, it's so funny because a relative of the kids on Jim's side had left them some money. And so we sat down. He had passed. And we said to the kids, like, we have this money. You have access to it when you're 21. We believe that you should pretend you never got it. And then it's going to go into a Roth IRA. You're never going to hear about it again. It will be something that never happened, but it did. And so they have money in their IRAs now. Yeah. I have one more year, so I can put one more year's worth of money in. And I said, listen, when you're my age, you'll be fine.
Right.
Can you imagine? Why don't they just do that for everybody? Put that money in for everybody.
Right. Well, people should do more of that. And that's what, like you said, you're trying to pass along. It's the whole, like, if I could went back and done things differently.
But I think it's really hard as a parent to do that because you're so tied up in, well, you need diapers, you need this. And, my husband just got laid off, or maybe I'm not working. We're a one income family. And I think that that's why it's really important to have these conversations with aunts and grandparents, because I feel like there's a little bit more flexible income sometimes, not all the time, but even in small ways, like Michelle is saying, even if it's, something every month to put into that 529. As a parent, can I save somewhere for my grandchildren that aren't here yet, but I can move to a 529 later for them? My son is only 20 now.
Sure, you can do that. You can start, you can't start a 529 plan for a child that isn't born yet, but you
need that social.
Correct. But you can contribute to ours, and then my kids, my kids can babysit.
It says, is the ABLE account similar?
Yes.
What's an ABLE account?
We'll talk about that when we talk about special needs.
Oh, Sue Tonarelli. Okay, that makes sense.
That's for special needs.
Tell me about that.
So it is I would say a parallel type of vehicle to a 529 plan, but it is specific for children with special needs because their trajectory of a secondary or post high school education may look a little bit different, or their path to education in the future may be a little more non-traditional. So it allows for different withdrawals. So it still allows you to save, and we have a few clients with those. That's a relatively newer type of plan. Which I was
going to say, how long has it been around?
Only a few years, and it's actually a really good thing, right? Because there was a really limited space. You could only do special needs trust before. There weren't a lot of savings vehicles. So a lot of parents that have special needs children are concerned, like, what happens to my child in the future, right? What happens to them when I'm not here? What happens to them if they need certain accommodations or certain spending? So the ABLE plans, and when we talk about special needs planning, we'll get a little bit deeper into that, but that is a great savings vehicle, especially for people to gift into. And also because a lot of, not all the time, but sometimes when you have a child with special needs, if they're receiving certain, government benefits, there are reasons why, maybe having money in their name may make them ineligible to receive those benefits. So there's reasons why you may want to have them in trust. And
Sue said she has a trust also, but this plan is great.
Yeah.
My daughter's been working for 4 years and has money in her investments than
more money in her investments than we do.
She keeps saying she will be moving out. I told her, good luck. And the money you're putting in now will be needed for rent. Yeah.
Right. Well, that's the other thing too. So when the children come home, let's say, if they have student loans or if they don't, do you charge them rent or do you not charge them rent? Like, how do we get them started in life? That's the big debate.
Oh, that is the big debate. Can we hold that for 1 second? Somebody said, 2 questions. Does the 529 have to be used at a U.S. college?
So it can be, they can be used internationally depending on the university. So it has to be a legit.
It can't be like Harvey Mudd.
You're going to get a call from Harvey Mudd.
Real.
And Harvey Mudd is.
I would like, I'm accepting enrollment in the Dina Blizzard University.
Oh, yes.
It opens today. It's in Mashed. And it's very expensive. It's $82,000 a year. You will learn a lot.
Accepting a limited number of students.
Limited number. Only about 4 will fit into the shed at a time.
That's correct. Oh
somebody says you have to be very careful. So she said with stable and able accounts. Is that what the full name of it? Stable and able? Or is there something different?
Well,
it says it can affect your Social Security as an adult.
Right. So that's why on the able accounts. I don't know about stable accounts. Maybe savings accounts. I'm not sure. I keep telling my kids at 19 and 17 to put money in their Roth.
They're not gonna.
They're not going to.
No, they'll be happy when they're older. Yeah, they're not going to do it. This is confusing though. My son is 33 and we did our will with the ABLE plan wasn't available. And any money his name over $2,000 will negate his Medicaid and we'll have to charge him $450 a month of rent out of his state check, which is stupid. He has total care and not able to live alone.
Yeah. And so that was the thing with the Medicare or Medicaid. When you're receiving Medicaid, there are limitations because again, it's an entitlement program, right? So it's designed for people that have a need, which means they don't have any money. So you can't have money in their name. So it's a whole cycle, but that's why we sit down and have one-on-one conversations with people about their situation, what options are available now, and what you can do to, plan for those circumstances. So we can have a side conversation about the ways that you might be able to plan for that financially.
So Katie just came in with a true story. True story. I work for a crazy lady who started her own university in the Caribbean so she could give herself a doctorate. Now, Katie, I don't want to say that I will have a doctorate from Dina Blizzard University, but you have just laid down a lot of opportunities for me.
I feel like you should.
I don't know why I wouldn't.
Right? If you're going, do you ever see people, they give celebrities like honorary doctorates at graduations?
Yes.
That's so rude.
I hope to get an honorary degree.
What about all the real doctorates?
I would like to get an honor. Is it an honorary? No, not an honorarium. What's the name of it? There's a name for it. What's it called when they get? Is it just an honorary degree? I thought it was called something else. Hot Crotch University. Thank you.
Wait, is the Hot Crotch lady on here?
She's always here. It's Belinda, but she won't add Hot Crotch to her name.
Why?
But we know. We know who it is. There's 2 Belindas. Belinda Pacheco, not a hot crotch. The other Belinda's
I'm
hot
sorry
crotch.
to the non-hot.
Yeah. I know. She's getting caught in the crosshairs.
I know.
Of hot crotch.
DBU, they gave it a name.
DBU. Yeah, there she is. Fat curtain. There she is. Belinda Becker Vandeman, also known as Hot Crotch.
Belinda's checking in.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, what would your mascot be at DBU?
Gosh, it would be a peacock.
I wasn't expecting that.
Well, it's just it goes back to
roll. Would you
roll
say
tide?
Would you say roll peacock or would you say roll?
I think the answer is obvious, but I'm not going to say.
I can't say it. This is a family-friendly show. This is a family feud.
Or Lulu. Actually, it'd just be Lulu.
Okay, I feel like all right. Mm-hmm. Bottle of wine or bourbon. Mm-hmm. That's every college kid's mascot.
Yeah.
Chardonnay. Oh,
well, there it is. Steak said it.
A beaver.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Steak did say.
Invite you to my husband's shoot. You will get an honorary book plus get paid to speak. What's your husband's university? Did he start his own? Mm-hmm.
Wait, have you ever done a commencement speech?
I have not. It's on my list.
Is it?
I don't know if you know this, but I kill at eulogies. No pun intended. I've done a number of eulogies. I don't want to say that I'm good, but I'm good.
Is it like good, like the new Zach Bryan songs eulogy, or like Pink Skies, like really good, like that?
No, I don't know what you're saying. I mean, like just it'll be like real.
Like what's in your TikTok feed? Because I feel like I have all this irrelevant information, and we're not on the same vibe.
You mean like what am I looking at?
Like your algorithm?
I don't know. I'm not on TikTok a lot.
Oh,
sorry, TikTok.
Oh,
even though we are right
well, we're
now.
gonna change that because I need to see what like is in her algorithm. But have you given eulogy speeches?
Yeah, 3.
Like for hire or like for people?
No, I have not been hired out as a gig yet.
Would you consider it?
No, I don't think so.
Why?
I don't know. I feel like you really have to know somebody. I feel like I did my grandmom's, I did my dad's, and I did one of our besties, Sylvia.
And you got
who introduced
positive Yelp reviews?
I got great Yelp reviews.
Like, how do you know if you're good at it? Or not?
killed. Listen, Michelle, you just know. You just know.
That's an unfair pun.
Yeah.
I don't feel like you
Have you ever done a eulogy?
Well, no, but I've written my own.
What? You wrote your own eulogy? You're joking. For yourself, for when you die?
Yes.
You wrote something that you want read when you're dead?
Yes, because that's how I manifest what I want to have happen in my life.
Okay.
I'm going to CVS.
Wait a second.
What? I could stop.
Wait a second.
No one has,
when did you do that? When did you make a eulogy for yourself?
like 5 years ago.
So you sat down and you were like, these are who's reading it? Is it me? Am I reading it?
I guess so. Now that I met the eulogy master.
Yeah, I said I really need to know the person, but you know you better than anybody. So if you wrote it.
Right. Who knows you better than yourself?
Obviously.
Who would you write now?
Wait, Shakendra
Who would you want writing your eulogy at this moment?
Oh, God, I don't even
know. Thank you.
Gosh, Diana would somehow talk about vegetables the whole time. Can't do that. Dean would probably be like, I can't do it. I can do it Friday. The funeral's on Wednesday.
Sorry.
Jacqueline would just show her armpit hair the whole time. I don't know
Has
who would
anyone
give my eulogy.
ever written their own eulogy?
Well, Shakendra just said, she goes, I always hated that assignment, write your own eulogy. This is an assignment for who?
Yes, it is assignment for you. Oh, I can't wait.
Listen, if you feel so inclined to write my eulogy, I would be happy to read them. So send them to, Wendy's going to hate that. Oh, gosh. Send it to, I'm going to send it to Stephanie.
I love that we're talking about college planning and we're doing homework assignments.
Well, because you said you wrote your own eulogy.
You said you were good reading it. I felt like this is a safe space to tell you. Now you're like,
let me think. All right, I guess you can send them to Dina Bliss. If you want to just take a stab, it can't, don't write
it says
long.
Excellent at college planning strategies. Wait, it doesn't have, first of all, here lies. I didn't say I wrote my own tombstone. I said
What I did was very moving. I'm glad they did it. Oh, that was really nice.
Great.
This dog is killing me with this light. He's about to bust it over. Oh my gosh. Dearly beloved, we were gathered here today
to hear Dina's eulogy skills.
My husband and I wrote our own as well. What?
Did you? Oh, that's a good one.
That's true. I did say I wanted a carnival and I want funnel cake. I want funnel cake and I want there to be, this when they do this.
Cotton candy
machine.
Butter.
Are you sure? And everyone should be sure.
We do that at my yoga studio with weights.
Yes, yoga studios.
So you want like a ringmaster?
I do.
Okay.
No way I can write my own eulogy. I will have nothing nice to say. Yeah, don't say Wendy. I didn't, Wendy. I caught myself.
About other people or about yourself? It's all about the self-love.
I have partially written mine. What, Andrea?
Did you embellish much? I don't know. Is manifesting embellishing? No, I wrote down what's going to happen in my life.
If my mom doesn't write her own, she will haunt us until we
tell us we did it wrong.
Yeah,
right.
That's true.
My brother-in-law's father had himself videotaped. Oh, snap.
What?
And sent messages to all family members. It was so touching. Oh, that's really meaningful planning.
Aww.
I mean, I have
when
clients.
One of my oldest sisters passed away, my brother was singing a funeral, and she had said something to say to some people in attendance, reached for his breast, but then burst out laughing from the face reactions that he got.
Oh.
Wow.
Were yours, let me guess, were yours humorous? Did you inject a little humor?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I think, my mom was very funny for my dad's eulogy. She was like, it's not a comedy, blah, blah, blah. I was like,
you were like, life is a comedy.
Uh-huh. I've done 3 eulogies and given my daughters things to say and not. Really? I refuse to have a funeral.
Well, but what about a eulogy?
Yeah, sure. I guess we're just going to walk down the street
eulogy?
And talk about Robin and be like, let's not get together.
Yeah.
She didn't want that. Don't talk. So how, like, does it start like Michelle was awesome. She was gorgeous. She was always looking to get to the end of the street. See, I can't do Michelle's because mine would be, I'll be like,
Not
listen,
always, just like on Fridays.
just sometimes,
Just Fridays.
just on a regular basis.
It's
Can I have you shown it to your family? Do they know that you've written this? Am
No.
I the only one that knows?
well, not you and however many people.
Yeah, but you didn't tell
7,000
anyone in
other-
your family. What if you die and then nobody knows? And then like 10 years later, like, guys, we were supposed to read this.
It's in my.
It's in your will?
It's in my will. I mean, it's with my will, but maybe people don't look at the. You've given me so much to think about.
Yeah,
put it
Michelle,
on
what
the
if they
fridge.
do this whole thing?
No, I'm gonna
and
put
then
it on the
10 years,
Next
Jill's
to the-
like, just on Friday,
Next
we're going
to-
to need to.
Next to the
A couple days.
I'm singlemom.com. I'm Jill.
yeah,
I'm busy.
yeah. Zia Lucia wrote her own obituary at one point in her life, and then she lived to nearly 93. We had to edit it down to a manageable size. Wow.
Heather says
Eminem
Eminem
can rap and sing your eulogy.
That would be amazing.
We're going to have to call him. We'll be like, Eminem, we have some bad news.
Yo, Marshall.
We'll be like, your number one fan.
Yes, I am. I really am. And I mean that. And I'm sorry, Joey McIntyre from New Kids on the Block, but I grew up. It happens. I outgrew him.
You outgrew him.
I really want to see your college commencement speech, though. Does anyone know anyone that can get Dina in? Because can I come to that?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I'm just planning on
You
reading.
could read my
I'm
eulogy.
reading your eulogy.
at the college commencement speech.
Huh.
And also, that takes all the pressure off the person who has to read it.
Yeah, but I think the point is that they're supposed to be talking about you through their eyes.
Okay.
I would love to read it, just to peruse it, just to say, Michelle, let me look like this and be like, Michelle,
Here's why.
I'd like to mark
Okay.
this up.
So I was working with a coach, a life coach.
Okay.
Okay. And a business life coach. And she said, go to the people that the 5 people you're closest with and ask them one question. What shows up when I do? Like when I walk into a room, what shows up? And so I did. And the answers that they gave were nothing like I imagine myself.
I'd be afraid to say what shows up.
Then how could you trust someone else when you're dead to talk about you?
Michelle, if I said, what do you guys think about when I walk into the room? They'd be like, hot crotch. I'll be like, okay, this is not. They'll be like, let me see your ball drop. Nope, this is not church worthy. Bourbon? Who wants a bourbon?
No, I'm telling you, go and ask people. It's very reflective. And then you're going to be like, either wow, or like you got that pig pen energy.
Chaos.
Yeah. Or then you'll be like, oh, that's so nice. And then you just kind of like take all that and put it in a blender and you spit your eulogy out.
Have you read her eulogy?
No.
Has anybody read it?
No, I'm not dead yet. I guarantee that there's some people on here that are going to get off here and start writing their eulogy.
Listen, if you have ideas for my eulogy,
You will?
I haven't read all of it.
You have thought of it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
to write your eulogy?
My name is Bossy Smurf.
Bossy Smurf. Tara is Bossy Smurf.
Why is she Bossy Smurf?
Control.
Oh, you have to control. Oh.
I just feel
She's like, just important things like my eulogy, my death. I planned that, which box I'm going to be in. Mhm. Do you update it as you go?
No, but I'm gonna
Michelle.
I'm gonna put certain people on my list of pallbearers, especially the ones who are skilled at letting me down. I just thought of that. Certain people.
Shikendra. She just said my pastor will eulogize. Am I your pastor now?
Right.
Because I didn't hear you ask me.
Are you ordained?
And
can you marry people?
I could. If it was for Shikendra, I would do it.
Have you ever performed a wedding?
I have not performed a wedding. However, I will tell you, this is one of my favorite stories. So I know lots of comedians, right? Lots of local comics. I don't know I think Missy's here, but there's a great comedian in the Philadelphia market. Her name's Chris Rich. And she was very kind to me when I was starting, and she's been around forever. She's very, very funny. She gets a call from a family, and they say, we would like to hire you. And, a lot of us get hired for weird things, birthday parties in somebody's basement or like a baby shower, wedding shower. I've done all that stuff, right? Well, she gets a call and they say, we'd like to hire you. Our dad loved you. He used to go to your shows all the time, anytime that you would come through town. And she's like, oh, that's very lovely. She goes, well, he passed. And we would like for you to come say some jokes at his funeral, at the gravesite. And she's like, yes. And she said, Dina, I thought it was the creepiest thing in the whole world. She said, but they just kept saying, you have no idea what you meant to my father. You just brought so much joy to him. You made him smile. And she goes, against my better judgment, she's like, these people were just so passionate about me coming. And they're like, it doesn't have to be hilarious. Like it's just our family. And she said she went and, the priest was there and they said a few words in the family. It's a very small group. And she did some jokes and she said it was the most awkward and beautiful thing she's ever done. She said everybody was crying and laughing at the same time. And it just gives me chills every time I think about it.
I love that.
You don't really know, like for people, like who knows if this man had been sick for a while and just used to kind of go to see Chris and watch her perform and laugh. And for this family, it just meant so much to have her there. It was just so beautiful.
I love that. Also, it probably brings about the spirit of the person, right? Because if they like comedy and they like to laugh, then that's more probably what they would want to happen versus everyone just sitting there sad. Wait, so are you going to put that on your website now that you do funeral?
Now that I don't.
Graveside stand up.
No, I don't
How
think
long
that's
should that
my
bit
thing.
be? Because sometimes when you're like, oh,
It'd
we're
be
the wrong shoes,
type
my
5.
heels are digging into the
No,
ground.
nothing long.
Would you do it though?
I don't see that being something that I move towards. No,
But would you do it if someone asked?
I don't know.
There's a name for it.
There's a name for it?
Humanist celebrant.
What?
Humanist what?
What?
Celebrant. This is a person who performs important services for people who prefer a secular celebrant at funerals, weddings, and other.
A humanist celebrant.
Yes.
I love
So
this.
not just a pastor or a priest. A lay person could do
Yes.
You could do weddings. You could do funerals. 4 weddings and a funeral.
No. I don't know if I was doing a wedding. I'd be like, are you sure you want to do this? Do you get to the end of the street?
So, I have like a second job, right?
No.
You don't? You don't know this?
No.
I'm also I serve in an elected position.
Oh,
right?
yes, I do know that.
So, as an elected person in local government, I can perform weddings, and sometimes I have to.
How many have you done?
A lot, several, but I've done virtual ones during COVID, which is really nice. I've done FaceTime ones.
What?
I mean, it's a whole new world, yes. And then, like maybe someone's parents are like in another state and they're getting married. Like I think they were going to like medical school and they needed to. But I do have to say that there are parts of me that are like, have you guys talked about this? Do you know what this means?
Yeah.
But I don't say it out loud.
Yeah. No.
Right? But some people write.
Do you find yourself in the middle of the ceremony just looking at the girl going, "Are you sure you wanna do this?"
Well, I find myself sizing both of them up and be like, is this lawfully wedded or unlawfully wedded? Are either of you really married? No.
Do you go to jails to marry folk?
Oh, no.
Have you watched Prison Wives yet, Michelle?
No, I can't watch TV.
I really don't feel like you have your finger on the pulse.
I can't watch TV. The frogs are mating in my backyard and it's a problem.
What did she just say? You said you can't watch TV because frogs are mating in your backyard? Is that what you just said?
Yeah.
That's not a sentence. What are you saying?
Hold on. Can I play for you real quick?
Frogs are mating in your backyard.
I'm not getting any sleep. You guys, okay. Speaking of college planning, my son, I had this noise in my backyard. It's really bothering me. I'm like, these birds are really loud. Okay, I'm bringing
it.
And so my son says to me, no, Mom, that's not birds. It's frogs. And they're,
In the Tiffany Hall.
What?
Have you heard that? Do you know what in the Tiffany Hall means?
No.
So that we were talking about times that you've hurt yourself. Have you ever been in bed and you go to pull your blankets up and then you hit yourself in the face? Or like you're on your phone in bed and then you drop it on your face. Have you ever done something that's just so dumb and you hurt yourself? Okay,
Sometimes
no,
I twist
mostly
my- I
frogs.
twist my
Okay,
neck.
listen. So people were saying that these dumb things that they've done to themselves to hurt themselves. And then one girl said that, I don't know if she sneezed and she hit her head, but she hit her head. But when she hits her head and she's not sure she's okay, she just says, "My name is Tiffany Hall." And if she knows her name, she doesn't have a concussion. We're like, Tiffany, this is not a good plan. You should go to the doctors. And so somehow it came to be, what in the Tiffany Hall? That means like, what the?
Oh yeah.
It's like
Okay.
that. So when something's real weird, you just say, what in the Tiffany Hall? So go on
Okay.
with
So
your frogs mating.
maybe people that are not in the like suburbs, but are like more in the rural areas
No.
will tell me. Just
Okay,
listen to this.
This is
why-
outside your window.
This is my backyard. Like for hours.
It's so loud. Are you standing next to them? Is that your window?
I opened my back door, but you can hear it in the house. My daughter was like, "Mom, you need to quiet those birds. I have to go to sleep." What am I gonna do? Right?
It's so loud.
But my son says it's frogs, and it's that they're. He said, "Mom, they're mating." And I think this is true because this morning I went and I was scooping something out of my pool, and I was like, "Oh, that frog has so many legs!" And I scooped it out, it was 2 frogs, and they were like snuggling.
And you took them out of their spa moment?
They would
Shell.
till death do us part, either in my pool or somewhere else, because they would die in the pool. I don't have the frog pad thing. I have to buy it where you can so they can leap out of the pool once they leap in.
Oh.
Anyway, it's
Yeah, they were looking for the end of the road, Michelle, and you stopped them.
Look, Robin, yes, and curly
Frogs.
top.
Curly top.
Right.
It's so loud. So because the frogs are loud, you can't watch Prison Wives on television. Is that what that's what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
It's too loud, and 2, I'm tired. I have a frog hangover.
Can't learn about Prison Wives if their frogs are mating.
Right.
So there's just some, listen, so hopefully you will leave today's show knowing a little bit more about 529s, learning a little bit more about the ABLE program, and you can feel free to follow up with Michelle on anything. And you've also learned about mating frogs.
Correct. You can
that you could write your own eulogy.
Yes. You can give us a call in the office. We will meet with you for 30 minutes with no charge, lots of laughs, and we'll all be looking forward to your eulogy next week.
All right, tell me your website again. I'm going to post
It's www.frogmom. Just kidding.
Frog
Grandma.
Is that right?
Yes, that's right.
Okay, good.
That's right.
So here's
this is
where
an educational program. Thank you.
It is an educational program. Let me fix TikTok. Boom. I have to do puzzles there.
Okay, Sarah. Okay, before
Sarah saying?
she lives on a creek and she never heard frogs mating. Your frogs can't get to the end of the street.
They can't. They're not getting to the end of the street. Not like in Michelle's backyard.
They can't get to the end of the creek.
Not in the pool that she's got. Her sauna that she's got just for the frogs. So listen, everyone. I think we've covered a lot of information today. I think everyone got super educated. Michelle, do you know about life estates? I'm sure we're going to be covering that soon.
We'll cover that.
We have, two more sessions
we do.
together? We have two more sessions together. So join us here every Tuesday for Tip Tuesday. And yeah, we all know Michelle's busy on Fridays.
Not this Friday.
You don't know, Michelle.
I know.
Michelle, think positive.
Oh,
Put it in your eulogy.
She was booked up every Friday for 100 years.
You have to manifest it, Michelle.
Okay. Sorry.
All right. So manifest, everybody. Write your eulogy. Make sure you get to the end of the street in your eulogy so it happens in real life.
And go ask 5 people what shows up when you do.
There you go. Yeah. So that's it for everybody. Mooney is so funny. All right. So that's it. Tonight is Tipsy Tuesday. Who knows what we'll be talking about. Tomorrow we have Christina Kuzmik on. Super excited. She's performing locally here in Philadelphia. So she'll be joining us tomorrow live. And then Thursday is our Spanish day. The whole show will be in Spanish. I won't be attending.
Do you speak Spanish?
No, but I've been doing Duolingo for like a year, but I'm out of practice. It's a whole thing.
Is that like Rosetta Stone? Oh,
yes,
my girlfriend
but better.
is bilingual. I could bring her over. She could be your interpreter.
That would be lovely. So that's it, everybody. Thanks for watching as always. And like Judy from Saskatoon and good time Andrea say, do something nice for yourself and others today. And that's it. Have a great day and a blessed day. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Hey guys, if you enjoyed today's morning show, make sure to follow us for more One Funny Mother content.
Okay, all right. Morse code is tapping.
And check out OneFunnyMotherStore.com for great new inappropriate swag. And for more exclusive content, consider becoming a supporter.
She got a bad leg.
Thanks again, and we'll see you tomorrow on